But without further delay, I'd like to pass the ball to Margherita and the rest of the team. So, let's get to it.
Yes. So, hi Aubrey. Can I call you Ciccio?
You can.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
So, first of all, thanks for being here. And can you please give a short introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Aubrey or Ciccio. I'm 23 years old. I graduated from University of Mississippi or Ole Miss in May of 2022. I got a major in classics and a minor in Italian. And I love Italy and I've studied abroad here a multitude of times, including Perugia and other cities. And now I'm here to hopefully get a master's.
But mostly Perugia.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But the longest duration is Perugia.
Okay, that's cool. And so about Perugia and Italy, can you tell us more about your love story with Perugia and Italy?
Yeah, so I always wanted to learn Italian from high school, but I didn't have there was no Italian taught at my high school. And so when I went to college, I started taking Italian and loved it. And fortunately, Ole Miss has a program in Salerno that is 4 weeks, and it's just language school. And then finally, with restrictions and everything, I was able to come back to Italy my fall semester year, of my senior year. And I found Umbra, and I loved it. And I saw all the websites and looked at all these videos, and I was like, I gotta go there. Perugia sounds cool. And I came here, and it was a dream.
When you arrived in Perugia and at Umbra, what have been your first impressions of the city and of the school?
I think I have a different perspective from most college American students that come to maybe Italy for the first time or come for the first time to study. Because I lived in Salerno twice, which is different from Perugia. I've lived in Abruzzo a little bit with friends and seen different areas of Italy. I've been up north in Trentino.
Wow.
So I've seen a lot of different things, and so it wasn't like a first shock, like, oh my gosh, Italy. It was like, oh my gosh, a new city in Italy. And so I had already a perspective of knowing how Italians are or how they live or what Italian life is kind of like. So that wasn't really a shock to me. The shock was more of the different architecture, or the different foods, or the way that people speak different, or the different just environments, and there's no ocean. And,
Yeah.
it was really kind of a shock of a different city than a different country, if that makes sense.
We have the Lake Trasimeno.
That is true.
That is true.
It is
The
beautiful.
ocean, but we have what we do.
And so, do you have any kind of curiosity of funny moments of your experience speaking Italian to Italians? If you can, remember some of them?
Definitely some funny ones. I mean, I speak well, but I'm not perfect, and I'll mess up and say the wrong thing, and sometimes they'll look at me like, what? And I'm like, But definitely, because I think I speak with more of a southern cadence or a southern influence because I learned most of my time in the south, and so it's been fun sometimes to be in Perugia and people be like, are you from Napoli? And I'm like, yes. Or no. And they don't, sometimes they believe me, sometimes they don't believe me. And so that's been really fun to be convincing enough to be taken for an Italian, which is really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. And it's also fun just traveling around, and people, I don't look Italian really, but I hear things and overhearing or getting jokes, or you hear something and you're like, that was funny, but no one knows that you heard it, and that's always fun.
You also can speak a number of different dialects from the south of Italy, right?
I can.
Can you say something?
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So the first dialect I kind of got introduced to was Abruzzese from Abruzzo, because one of my professors at Ole Miss was from Abruzzo. And I came close to her family, and I babysat for her, and I worked for her husband who opened a gelato shop in Oxford, Mississippi. And so I would hear them speak dialect, and I was like, that's so cool, and I learned a little bit. So one easy sentence would be "Ich bin un frastiere," which is I am a foreigner. So
That's great.
Thanks for the translation. I would never guess.
And then the dialect that I speak the most of would be from Salerno, which is really similar to the Napoletano from Napoli. Allora, io sono Ciccio, tengo 23 anni e che va pozzarisce, sono contento di essere a Perugia, ma volessi tornare presto a sud.
Bellissimo, thank you. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really great. I have another question for you. So So you arrived in Perugia. Okay, you already knew Italy. You already had this experience here. But how did Umbra Institute help you, like, getting used to the city and to the region? Yeah.
There was definitely, it was very like friendly. It wasn't kind of like we're the administration, we're your teachers, you have to do this, you have to do that. It was kind of, we get that y'all are in a new environment, a new country, and for the majority of the students, they didn't speak any Italian, and so that can be obviously frightening. And so it was warm, and they taught us how to use trains and buses, and how to go to the supermarket, how to order, how to go to a coffee shop and get a coffee, which is important. So it was really, I mean, I knew a lot of the things beforehand, but it was nice to see from the administration and the teachers, because it wasn't just, you're here and you're on your own, you know. So that was really nice, and they give you all these activities you can do, and you can go here, or there's a train here, or you can ask them anything and they'll help you with anything. And the housing department was perfect. If there was a problem, if the lights went out or anything, Alessandro would be there, and it was great.
Do you also take part in some community engagement activities with Manuel?
Maybe for one of the course, because Ciccio was so involved in the community already that he didn't need the community engagement volunteering opportunities.
I did the teaching English.
The teaching,
that's cool.
right. And you did also a project at Ortosole, that is the Institute Didactic Garden for Sustainability.
Mine was the community garden.
Yeah, the community garden, yeah.
A few farming activities.
Yeah.
So we know that you came back to Perugia now. What brought you back here, and what are you doing?
So I was really interested in the master's program ETAS, teaching Italian to foreigners, because that's what I would like to do. I love Italian and I want to teach it. And then I knew Perugia already, and I thought, well, you know, if there's this program here, and I already know the city, I've got friends there, I'm familiar with it. You know, why not go back to Perugia and enjoy what I enjoyed with, like, because my semester here with y'all was phenomenal. And it was a dream, and we had such a good group. And so I was like, let's go back, let's do it again. Yeah.
But what did you pick Perugia, like, instead of maybe a bigger city like Rome or Milan?
Yeah, so I knew going into, at least when I wanted to study abroad here, Ole Miss had Rome, Florence, and Urbino. And I thought maybe Urbino's too small, and I knew Rome is too big for me, and Florence, everybody speaks English. And I wanted to go somewhere where I could not speak English and work on my Italian as much as I could, because of course you hear people speak English, you all speak English, you know, but like in Florence, you order a coffee and they won't even speak to you in Italian. And so I knew I wanted somewhere they spoke Italian. I wanted somewhere relatively small, but not tiny. And so I saw Perugia, and I looked it up online. And also, as a classics major, I read the history with the Etruscans and Augustus, and it was just fascinating because that's what I studied all 4 years. And I was like, I can go touch an Etruscan wall, you know. So there's a lot of factors that drew me to Perugia, and I'm happy I chose it for sure.